Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Shri Ramanavami Maha Mahotsav ki jai. We are going to sing the Dashavatara Stotra. Um, so, translation, it does have it. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a tortoise, all glories to you. In this incarnation, as a divine tortoise, the great Mandara mountain rests upon your gigantic back as a pivot for churning the ocean of milk. From holding up the huge mountain, a scar like depression is put on your back, which has become most glorious. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a boar, all glories to you. The earth, which has become merged in the Garbhodaka ocean at the bottom of the universe, sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk, like a spot upon the moon. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of half man, half lion, all glories to you. Just as one can easily crush a wasp between one's fingernails, so in the same way, the body of the wasp-like demon Hiranyakashipu has been ripped apart by the wonderful pointed nails on your beautiful lotus hands. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, all glories to you. O wonderful dwarf, by your massive steps, you deceive King Bali, and by the Ganges water that has emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all living beings within this world. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Bhrigupati, Parashuram, all glories to you. At Kurukshetra, you bathe the earth in rivers of blood from the bodies of the demoniac Kshatriyas that you have slain. The sins of the world are washed away by you because of you, and because of you, people are relieved from the blazing fire of material existence. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Ramachandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroy the 10-headed demon Ravana and distribute his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them who were much harassed by this monster. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Balaram, the yielder of the plow, all glories to you. On your brilliant white body, you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are colored like the beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who feels great fear due to the striking of your plowshare. O Keshava, Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Buddha, all glories to you. O Buddha of compassionate heart, you decry the slaughtering of poor animals performed according to the rules of Vedic sacrifice. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Kalki, all glories to you. You appear like a comet and carry a terrifying sword for bringing about the annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of Kali Yuga. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who assumed these 10 different incarnations, all glories to you. O readers, please hear this hymn of the poet Jayadev, which is most excellent, an awarder of happiness and a bestower of auspiciousness, and it is the best thing in this dark world. O Lord Krishna, I offer my obeisances to you, who appear in the forms of these 10 incarnations. In the form of Matsya, you rescue the Vedas, and as Kurma, you bear the Mandara mountain on your back. As Varaha, you lift the earth with your tusk, and in the form of Narasimha, you tear open the chest of the Daitya Hiranyakashipu. In the form of Vamana, you trick the Daitya king Bali by asking him for only 3 steps of land, and then you take away the whole universe from him by expanding your steps. As Parashurama, you slay all of the wicked Kshatriyas, and as Ramachandra, you conquer the Rakshasa king Ravana. In the form of Balaram, you carry a plow with which you subdue the wicked and draw toward you the river Yamuna. As Lord Buddha, you show compassion toward all living beings suffering in this world, and at the end of the Kali Yuga, you appear as Kalki to bewilder the mlechas. Okay, Hare Krishna. Let's see this stands. Okay. प्रलयपयोधि जले धृतवानसि वेदम् विहितवहित्रचरित्रमखेदम् चरित्रमखेदम् केशवधृता मीनशरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे क्षितिरिह विपुलतरे तिष्ठति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधरन किन चक्रघरिष्ठे सति तव पृष्ठे धरणिधरन किन चक्रघरिष्ठे केशवधृता कूर्म शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे वसति दशन शिखरे धरणी तव लग्ना शशिनि कलंक कलेवनिमग्ना केशवधृता सुकररूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे सुकररूपा जय जगदीश तव करकमलभरेण खमद्भुतशृङ्गम् दलितहिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Kalayasi Vikramane Balimadbhuta Vamana Padhanakanira Janita Jana Pavana Vamana Jana Pavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. One more kartal. Kshatriyarudhiramaye jagadapagata-papam snapayasi payasi shamita bhavatapam maye jagadapagata-papam snapayasi payasi shamita Keshavadhrita Bhrigupatirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Vitarasi dikshurane dikpati kamaniyam dashamukha mauli balim ramaniyam. Jai Shri Rama. Vitarasi dikshurane dikpati kamaniyam dashamukha mauli balim ramaniyam. Keshavadhrita Rama Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Rama Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare, केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे वितरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पते कमनीयां दशमुखमौलिबलिं रमणीयां वितरसि केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे वितरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पते कमनीयं दशमुखमौलिबलिं रमणीयम् केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे वह शिव पुषि विशदे वसनं जलधाभं हलहति भीतिमिलित यमुनाभं वसनं जलधाभं केशवधृता हलधर रूप जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे इन्दसि यज्ञविधेरः श्रुतिजातं सदय हृदय दर्शित पशुघातम् केशवधृता बुद्ध शरीरा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश रे च निवहनि धने कलयसि करवालं धूमकेतुमिव किमपि करालम् अवालं धूमकेतुमिव किमपि करालम् केशवधृता कल्कि शरीरा जय जगदीश रे जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। हरे जय जगत श्री जय देव कवेरिदमुदितमुदारं शृणु सुखदं शुभदं भवसारम् शृणु सुखदं शुभदं भवसारम् केशवधृता दशविधरूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। भीतरसि दिक्षुरणे दिक्पति कमनीयां दशमुखमौलिबलिं रमणीयम् केशवधृता राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। राम शरीरा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। वेदानुद्धरते जगन्ति वहते भूलोकमुद्बिभ्रते दैत्यं धारयते बलिं चलयते क्षत्रं क्षयं कुर्वते पौलस्त्यं जायते हलं कलयते कारुण्यमातन्वते म्लेच्छान् मूर्छयते दशकृति कृते कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सुत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री रामनवमी महामहोत्सव की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामिनिति नामने नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay. Reading from Canto 9, Chapter 11, Text 1. Please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakaihi Sarva Devamayam Devam Ije Atharchayavan Atharcharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Sarvadevamayam Devam Ije Tharcha Ije Tharcha Ije Tacharyavan Makhaihi Ije Tacharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi. Please repeat. Sarvadevamayam Devam Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi. Mataji. Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavanatmanatmanam Rama Uttamakalpakaihi Sarvadevamayam Devam Ijetacharyavan Makhaihi. Shri Shuka Uvacha Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Atmana, by himself, Atmanam, himself, Ramaha, Lord Ramachandra, Uttamakalpakaihi, with very opulent paraphernalia, Sarvadevamayam, the heart and soul of all the demigods, Devam, the Supreme Lord himself, Ije, worshipped, Atha, thus, Acharyavan, under the guidance of an acharya, makhaihi, by performing sacrifices. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, thereafter the Supreme Personality of Godhead Lord Ramachandra accepted an acharya and performed the sacrifices, yajnas, with opulent paraphernalia. Thus he himself worshipped himself, for he is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. Purport. Sarvahanam Achyutejya. If Achyuta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is worshipped, then everyone is worshipped. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 4.31.14, Yathataror Mula Nisheshanena Tripyanti Tatskanda Bhujopashaka Pranapahara Chayatendriyanam Tathaiva Sarvahanam Achyutejya. As pouring water on the root of a tree nourishes the trunk, branches, twigs, and leaves, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead satisfies the demigods who are part of that Supreme Personality. Performing yajna involves worshipping the Supreme Lord. Here, the Supreme Lord worshipped the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is said, Bhagavan Atman Atmanam Ije. The Lord worshipped himself by himself. This does not, however, justify the Mayavad philosophy by which one thinks himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The jiva, the living entity, is always different from the Supreme Lord. The living entities, vibhinna amsha, never become one with the Lord. Although the Mayavadis sometimes imitate the Lord's worship of himself, Lord Krishna meditated upon himself every morning as a grihastha. And similarly, Lord Ramachandra performed yajnas to satisfy himself. But this does not mean that an ordinary living being should imitate the Lord by accepting the process of ahangraha upasana. Such unauthorized worship is not recommended herein. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitha Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Balopi Yattad Anugrahat Tarenana Matagrahat Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. So here, this is the second chapter of Shukadeva Goswami's description of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes in the Bhagavatam. So in the 9th canto, Shukadeva Goswami describes Lord Ramachandra's pastimes in simply 2 chapters. He summarizes the entire pastimes in 2 chapters. Lord Ramachandra's pastimes form the content and subject matter of the Ramayana. Sri Ramayana is an itihasa. Itihasa. Itihasa means it so happened. Itihasa. Itihasa, it means it so happened. So itihasas are histories. There are 2 itihasas in the Vedas, in the Vedic in the Vedic corpus literature, which is Ramayana and Mahabharata. So itihasa purananam panchamo vedanam vedaha, that the itihasas and puranas constitute the 5th Veda. So there are 4 Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur and Atharva. And the 5th Veda is the itihasas and puranas. Now, what is the difference between the itihasas and the puranas? Purana also means history. Purana also means narrations of historical events. What is the difference between itihasas and puranas? The difference is that the Itihasas are purely histories, whereas the Puranas are a collection of histories. The Itihasas deal with a particular section of history, whereas the Puranas can deal with several, it can deal with histories over spanning over several yugas and over several manmantras, right? Over several decades, several millennium. And the Purana's history does not have to, this is one of the differences, there are multiple differences. One of the differences is the Itihasas deal with a particular history. When it begins that history, it will go till the end of that particular narration of that history, and that's the end. So the Mahabharata, for instance, deals with the history of primarily the time of the Pandavas on this planet, right? And so it begins a little before that and it goes a little after it. So similarly, the Ramayana is a history of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. It will go a little before Lord Ramachandra's appearance, and it will go a little after also. Actually, the Ramayana also consists, in the Uttarakanda, consists of a brief description of Lord Ramachandra's sons, Laba and Kusha, their activities. So brief description, front and back. So the Itihasas deal with a particular narration, whereas if you see, like for instance, Srimad Bhagavatam is a Purana. Varaha comes in one kalpa, one manmantara. Another, incarnation, Vamana comes in another manmantara. So like this, they come in different times of the day of Brahma, and it's not exactly chronological history. So the Itihasas, they deal with chronological history of a particular section of history. So, historically and traditionally, the Itihasas have relevance in the sense that they primarily define the culture. Vedic culture is primarily derived from the Itihasas. Vedic culture deals with it is primarily derived. How do you, this daily conduct and so many things that one has to do, these descriptions are given in more detail in the Itihasas. Also, another thing with the Itihasas is it primarily deals with human life. Even though Lord Ramachandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is enacting the pastime of living like a moral human being. So there is a lot of lessons that one can learn from Lord Ramachandra's behavior that apply to one's own personal life. Same thing with the Pandavas. Same thing with it is, whereas the Puranas deal with, now within the Itihasas, there may be some stories of different, like actually you find in the Mahabharata, there are so many stories. But primarily the central theme are characters who are living a human life, who are leading a life of dharma, who are leading a life of righteousness, and who are leading a life of piety, and who are setting an example that all of us have to follow. This is a very important characteristic of the Itihasas. So, and so in the Itihasas, among the Itihasas, the two Itihasas, the Mahabharata, although very prominent and very popular, the Ramayana, to a large extent, finds favor among followers of the Vedas in general. One simple reason, possible reason, is that the Ramayana is just a lot simpler to grasp. The Mahabharata is 100,000 verses. Valmiki's Ramayana is 24,000. Valmiki's Ramayana is 24,000 verses. That's a fourth of the size of the Mahabharata. So it makes it, obviously a little more easier to summarize and easier to grasp. Also, the Ramayana doesn't involve as many characters as the Mahabharata. You just have so many characters in the Mahabharata. Not only do you have a lot of central characters, right? There's a lot of central characters in the Mahabharata. You have the Pandavas, you of course have Krishna, you have all the hundreds, the Kauravas, you have Dhritarashtra, you have Bhishma, you have Drona, you have Vidura. plays another central character. You have Kunti. So you have a lot of these characters. Whereas in the Ramayana, while you do have a lot of characters, the central theme is about Rama and Sita. In fact, Ramayana, it is the story of Lord Rama, but who else is it described? Actually, this is given in the Ramayana itself. Valmiki himself gives another description of Ramayana. Some, just short. Like you say, story of Lord Rama, Valmiki gives another definition. Guess? I mean, you can only guess, but Sita Charitayam, sorry. It is the story of Sita. Actually, the Ramayana, the central theme of Ramayana is actually Sita Devi. Interesting. That's Valmiki's definition. I found this in Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu's book. That the story of Ramayana, the central theme of Ramayana is actually Sita. It is her role that defines Ramayana. Without Sita being present, the Ramayana would have not happened at all. Lord Rama would have appeared, he would have led as a king and everything. It's the Ramayana really centers around Sita's activities. And so that's Valmiki's definition. So we have to accept it. So now, so I wanted to take this section to give an example of how, Lord Ramachandra's pastimes define the very culture of Vedic civilization. How Vedic culture is learned from Lord Ramachandra's activities. So here in the Bhagavatam, we are reading this verse. Of course, Srila Prabhupada, this verse in particular, is describing Lord Ramachandra after he has become coronated as the king of Ayodhya, as the emperor of Ayodhya. So now this particular verse is dealing with after Lord Rama killed Ravana and Sita has been rescued, and now they are back in Ayodhya and the coronation ceremony has become complete. Finally, Lord Rama has been crowned as the king of Ayodhya. So at that time, what does he do? He says, Lord Ramachandra accepted an acharya. Of course, which acharya is this? Vashishta. Vashishta is the acharya. Why? Because Lord Ramachandra was in exile. Now he has become the emperor. He has accepted Vashishta as the acharya because Vashishta is Kula Guru. He is the family guru of Lord Ramachandra. And he accepts an acharya and performed sacrifices, yajnas, with opulent paraphernalia. Now, it's very important to note that the Supreme Lord accepted an acharya, then performed yajna, sacrifices. So even Supreme Lord Ramachandra accepts a spiritual master. And then under his guidance, he worshipped himself. For he is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. Now here, Vasishta, being a bona fide spiritual master, recognizes that Lord Ramachandra is the Supreme Lord and tells Ramachandra, instructs Lord Ramachandra to worship himself. Lord Ramachandra doesn't do that himself. Even though he is Supreme Lord, he can do it. But he doesn't do it. It's another central theme you will note. In the Ramayana, everybody is always aware that Lord Ramachandra is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone is always aware. Although he acts like a human being, everybody, including his own acharya, is aware of that. I'll read more sections of this a little later. But now, he's instructed to worship himself. He doesn't do that by himself. He's instructed to worship. Why? Because he's Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada mentions here that the Mayavadis, instead, they try to imitate this. Mayavada Guru comes and says, see, I'm like Vasishta. I will instruct you Yoga Vasishta. And then, I'll make you Mayavadi. And you also have to worship yourself because you are God. This is nonsense. This is not bona fide. So Prabhupada explains that the living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai vamso jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatanaha. And we can never be equal to Krishna. We can never be equal to Lord Rama. And therefore we can never worship ourselves. Worshipping ourselves is just illusion. It's Maya. We have to meditate upon the Supreme Lord situated within all of our hearts. That is the meditation. Not that we meditate upon ourselves. So, Prabhupada mentions this, and Prabhupada also mentions that Lord Krishna does this. has a grihastha. Where? In Dwaraka. Where is that described? Krishna book. Where? Like which particular section describes this? In Dwaraka, where? In the daily activities, daily schedule and activities of Lord Krishna. There, in the morning, Krishna meditates upon himself. Okay, good. All right. So, okay. So now we're going to go to the next verse, text 2. I'm just going to read this, the English. So Lord Ramachandra gave the entire east to the Hota priest, the entire south to the Brahma priest, the west to the Advaryu priest, and the north to the Udgata priest, the reciter of the Samaveda. In this way, he donated his kingdom. So he just was coronated. What does he do? He divides it into 4, east, west, north, south, and gives it away to the 4 brahmanas who performed the sacrifice. Then what happens? There's something left. Thereafter, thinking that the brahmanas have no material desires, because the brahmanas have no material desires, they should possess the entire world, Lord Ramachandra delivered the land between the east, west, north, and south to the Acharya. So you east, west, north, and south, and then there is in between, because you're dividing it. So he gives that center of the earth, meaning the center of the earth itself, he gives it to Vasishta. He gives it to the Acharya. Why? Because brahmanas have no material desire. They have no material desire. They can own the whole world. They may own the whole world. They may possess the whole world. This is how much the Lord is pleased with the brahmanas. Because the real brahmanas is Brahman Janati iti Brahmanaha. That a real brahmana is one who knows Brahman. He has no material desire. And such a brahmana can have the whole universe. And still, he will not consider that he owns it or he possesses it or that it belongs to him. So, in this regard, there is a quote of Srila Prabhupada. I wanted to read. So this is from Transcendental Diary, Volume 1, February 28, 1976. Harishauri Prabhu recalls. Moving from his room, Prabhupada climbed up the stairs out onto the roof, picking up a small entourage on the way. As he walked around glancing over the new building site, this is Mayapur, he explained that our concern about money was not ordinary. He expanded his point with a very nice metaphor. He explained that his mission was to reunite Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, with Narayana. In other words, the demoniac want to enjoy the property of God without God, or Sita without Rama. Just as Hanuman had worked to release Sita from Ravana's hands, Prabhupada said he was also working for the same purpose. We are not satisfied that Rama should remain alone and Sita should be under the custody of Ravana. I don't want, he said. Sita must be released from the custody of Ravana. With opulence, it means we are bringing Sita nearer, nearer, nearer. That is wanted. Otherwise, for a sannyasi, what is the use of these big buildings? No, we want these big buildings for service of Rama. So this is Srila Prabhupada. He had no material desire. He set that example. Srila Prabhupada is exactly like these brahmanas, like the Acharya Vasishta that is being described here. He had no material desire. Lord Ramachandra gives the whole world to Acharya Vasishta. Like that, Lord Krishna gave the whole world to Srila Prabhupada. He gave everything to Srila Prabhupada. So this is Acharya, this is Brahmana. And so what do the Brahmanas then do? After thus giving everything in charity to the Brahmanas, Lord Ramachandra retained only his personal garments and ornaments. And similarly, the queen, Mother Sita, was left with only her nose ring and nothing else. Can you believe it? He didn't have anything. He just had his personal garments. He didn't have a suitcase with all my belongings and this and that. Nothing. He just had his clothes on, whatever ornaments he had on his body when he donated. And Sita, Queen, Empress of the whole world, Jagan Mata. She's the mother of the whole universe. She's the goddess of fortune herself, was left with one nose ring. One nose ring. No, then what? That's that. And it shows Sita Devi, she didn't say that. Sita Devi, she started saying, what, Lord Rama, what the hell, it's like, who do you think you are? How dare you give everything away? No. And we'll see that. We'll see why. We'll see, her mood. You know. Text 5. All the Brahmanas who were engaged in the various activities of the sacrifice were very pleased with Lord Ramachandra, who was greatly affectionate and favorable to the Brahmanas. Thus, with melted hearts, they returned all the property received from him and spoke as follows. So, Prabhupada gives a whole purport here about Brahmanas. But it's said here, Prabhupada describes, the Brahmanas were so pleased with Lord Ramachandra's affection towards them that their hearts melted. They saw that Lord Ramachandra, aside from being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was fully qualified as a Kshatriya and was exemplary in character. One of the qualifications of a Kshatriya is to be charitable. So Prabhupada continues. Later, it is said that a Kshatriya's duty is to give charity, and a Brahmana's duty is to accept charity, but not more than needed to maintain the body and soul together. Therefore, when the Brahmanas were given so much land by Lord Ramachandra, they returned it to him and were not greedy. So this is a characteristic of a Brahmana. Those who have accepted, the Brahmin thread, they should keep this in mind. You've accepted a position of a Brahmana, you've accepted, we should not keep anything more than what is needed to keep the body and soul together. Whether that Brahmana may be a Brahmachari or a Grahastha. This is the same principle. And by the way, all these Brahmanas weren't Naishtika Brahmacharis. In all likelihood, they were Grahasthas. So, and here, another point to note is that here the Supreme Lord is exhibiting one opulence. What opulence is that? Renunciation. You see, when it is described that Supreme Lord has opulence of renunciation, see how he exhibits it. There's so many ways in which he exhibits that. This is one of the ways he exhibits. He just gives everything away. And he stands there and it's unbelievable, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then text 6, the Brahmanas are saying, "O Lord, you are the master of the entire universe. What have you not given to us? You have entered the core of our hearts and dissipated the darkness of our ignorance by your effulgence. This is the supreme gift. We do not need a material donation." So the Brahmanas, what do they value? Removal of ignorance and knowledge. Right? What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Huh? No. Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnana jamtamaha nashayam yatma bhavasto jnana deepena bhashvata. So the Brahmanas received this. They received this jnana deepena bhashvata, that they were able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. They thought, what more do I need? Like Dhruva Maharaj, he wanted a position greater than Lord Brahma. He saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He said, what do I need? I don't need anything else. What am I doing? I don't need anything else. I've seen you. Like what? I'm desiring all this other stuff. I don't need anything. So these Brahmanas are fully satisfied. They've seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra. They are seeing his activities. They are seeing his pastimes. They are thinking, Aho Bhagyam, Aho Bhagyam. We are so fortunate that we are seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead's pastimes. Aho Bhagyam, what do we need more than this? We don't need some material donation. Oh Ramachandra, take your entire kingdom back. Let us capture you within our hearts. That's all. By giving the whole kingdom back, what did they get? Lord Ramachandra became their property. He gave the whole kingdom, but he won't give himself. He didn't give himself in charity. But the Brahmanas gave back the whole kingdom and purchased him by their love. This is bhakti. Therefore, these descriptions are given in the Ramayana. So in the Ramayana and here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, then the Brahmanas chant the verse that we chanted in the morning. Let us chant this together. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ramaya Kuntha Medhase Uttama Shloka Duryaya Nyasta Dandar Pitanghraye. O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead who have accepted the Brahmanas as your worshipable deity. Your knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. You are the chief of all famous persons within this world, and your lotus feet are worshipped by sages who are beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. O Lord Ramachandra, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So here the the Brahmanas are glorifying the Supreme Lord. His knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. See, our knowledge and memory is disturbed by anxiety. Why? Because we always feel our needs are, we don't feel like our needs are being provided. We become scared. We become scared of survival and this and that. But Lord Ramachandra, he donates the whole world, donates the whole kingdom. He doesn't think his wife is right next to him, donates everything. And he's not disturbed. He's not disturbed by knowledge and anxiety. How is this possible? Like, you cannot even imitate this. You cannot imitate this. It's only possible by the Supreme Lord, Ramachandra. So his knowledge and anxiety are never disturbed. His knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. And he's the chief among all the famous persons within this world, and his lotus feet are worshipped by all sages. Okay. Now we'll go to another prayer of that Shukadeva Goswami offers. This is text 21. Okay, text 21 of the same chapter. Yasyamalam nripasadasu yasho. How do you say? Yasyamalam nripasadasu yashodunapi gayantyagam rishayo digibendra pattam tam nakapala kirita jushta padambujam raghupatim sharanam prapadye. Lord Ramachandra's spotless name and fame, which vanquish all sinful reactions, are celebrated in all directions, like the ornamental cloth of the victorious elephant that conquers all directions. The great saintly persons like Markandeya Rishi still glorify his characteristics in the assemblies of the great emperors like Maharaj Yudhishthir. Similarly, all the saintly kings and all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, worship the Lord by bowing down with their helmets. Let me offer my obeisances unto his lotus feet. So Lord Ramachandra, his spotless name and fame, they vanquish all sinful reactions. Right? All sinful reactions are vanquished by Lord Ramachandra's spotless name and fame. Meaning here that it says Amalam. Yes. That the Lord Ramachandra's qualities is Amalam. It is without, free from any errors, and it is Aghagnam. Aghagnam mean it vanquishes all sinful reactions. And it is celebrated in all the directions. Lord Ramachandra's glories are celebrated in all directions. And great saintly persons like Markandeya Rishi, where do they glorify his pastimes? In the assemblies of Yudhishthir Maharaj. You see, in the days of, in those days, kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj, they would often host different sages and rishis, and they would come and recite various pastimes. Actually, you will see, the Mahabharata begins like this. The Mahabharata begins as a description of Vaisampayana. Vaisampayana speaks the Mahabharata in the court of Janamejaya. Janamejaya is son of Parikshit Maharaj. He is the great grandson of the Pandavas. So Maharaj Yudhishthira is, and how do we know this? If you go to text text 3, chapter 10, canto 9, chapter 10, text 3. We're going to come back to this section. So chapter 9, canto 9, chapter 10, text 3. Right? Here it is said, O King Parikshit, the transcendental activities of Lord Ramachandra have been described by great saintly persons who have seen the truth. Because you have heard again and again about Lord Ramachandra, the husband of Mother Sita, I shall describe these activities only in brief. Please listen. So, Parikshit Maharaj has heard Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. How many times? One time, two times? Again and again. Again and again. The point is, to be a follower of the Vedas, one should know Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. If you haven't read Ramayana, your life is wasted. Your life is useless. You have to know the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. We have to know the fame and characteristics and activities of Lord Ramachandra. If you haven't read Ramayana, please start today. No loss. Please read Ramayana. This is a very, very important book to read. And Parikshit Maharaj heard it again and again. Why? Because it's being described in the assemblies of Yudhishthir Maharaj and saintly kings like this. And he said, therefore, all the saintly kings, meaning all the saintly kings and all the demigods, they worship Lord Ramachandra. They won't worship him if they don't know who he is. So we should learn the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. Okay. Then, text 23, chapter 11, text 23. Okay. Text 23. We can chant this together also. Very nice verse. Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanairupadharayan Anshramsya Paro Rajan Karma Bandhair Vimuchyate. O King Parikshit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. So we all have envy within our heart. This is the reason why we are in this material world. We are in this material world because we have envy. Therefore, don't lean on that pillar. Therefore, we have to hear the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. By hearing the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, we will become free from envy. What also will we become free from? Karma bandhair vimuchyate. Okay, karma bandha refers to the bondage created by karma. How is that bondage created? Through four types of karma. What are the 4 types of karma? Kuta, bija, prarabdha and aprarabdha. Of this, that kuta is there, right? This kuta. Kuta is the dangerous thing. Why? Because you can get rid of some sinful reaction, but you won't get rid of that desire. You won't get rid of that inclination. But karma bandhair does not happen if kuta is not present. If the sinful desire to enjoy separately from Krishna is not present, then karma bandha will not happen. We will not become bound. Meaning that one's desire to enjoy this material world will become vanquished. Therefore, Lord Ramachandra's pastimes is very purifying. By hearing Lord Rama, by hearing Ramacharitam, Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanair. By hearing Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, one will become free from envy and go back to Godhead. One will no longer have the mentality of enjoying this material world. Therefore, Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, very purifying, very, very purifying. And you know what? Very easy to understand. Very easy, very nectarian. You know, anyone who reads Ramayana and doesn't cry, their heart is made of steel. It's very difficult to hold your emotions back when you read the Ramayana. It is a very moving story. Even though we are full of material desires, still Lord Ramachandra is so merciful that he gives us a taste of this nectar, this transcendental anxiety, this transcendental depression. You know, this transcendental depression is the greatest source of happiness. This transcendental depression. When Lord Chaitanya met the South Indian Brahmana who was lamenting, he was in great depression. But he didn't go and see a psychiatrist because no psychiatrist will cure his problem. What is his problem? Sita, the goddess of fortune, mother of the whole universe, embodiment, she is the very form of purity, she is the very form of chastity. That Jagannatha, that mother of the whole universe, that most merciful goddess, who is the mother of all living entities, has been captured, she has been touched. She has been captured and touched by this rascal, demon, Ravana, woman hunter, this debauchee. Oh, what a great misfortune. How can this ever happen? How can this happen? And he is merged in transcendental depression. And when Lord Chaitanya finds him in this state, Lord Chaitanya becomes very pleased. He becomes so pleased that Lord Chaitanya desires to relieve him of his transcendental depression, and he shows him a quote from the Kurma Purana, Varaha Purana. He brings that, and he brings this verse where it is said that that actually when Ravana tried to capture Sita, he didn't actually capture the real Sita. Immediately there was a form of Maya Sita, an illusory form of Sita that was created. That was the form that Ravana took. The actual form of Sita, the actual goddess Sita, she was never touched by Ravana because she can never be touched by anybody except Lord Rama. So in this way, and then when the Brahmana saw that, because why? You have to bring a quote. You can't just tell something to a Brahmana, he will not accept it. Brahmana, you have to. So even Supreme Personality of Godhead had to pull a quote from Shastra and show to the Brahmana. And then Brahmana becomes very satisfied, becomes very happy, and he gives up his sorrow. So, so here I wanted to describe a few pastimes of Lord Rama so from this we can understand how Brahmanas behave, how Kshatriyas behave, what is the real characteristic of Brahmanas, how the Brahmanas gave charity. So there are many things in the Ramayana that we can learn. Okay, why we give importance? Why are we speaking so much about Ramayana? Did Srila Prabhupada say anything about Ramayana? Yes, he did. So here this is very nice, these quotes that Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu has gathered. So Prabhupada says here that hold on. I just saw that yesterday. I should have put a bookmark. Oh, yes. Okay. The question may arise, what is the necessity of translating the Valmiki Ramayana again? There are already a number of English translations on the entire epic. Our straightforward answer to this is that Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, explicitly desired a detailed multi-volume edition of the Valmiki Ramayana, like his detailed edition of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada, letter to Dinanath N. Mishra, dated 26 July 1975. I have a great desire to translate the Valmiki Ramayana because that is authorized. I wish to translate Valmiki Ramayana exactly in the way I have done Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada gave importance to the Ramayana. He wanted to translate it himself. So, okay. Now, one of the famous verses of the Ramayana, which also gives, this is one of the most famous verses of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And this is from the Valmiki Ramayana itself. Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi iti yachate. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etad vratam mama. It is my vow to all creatures that if only once one seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day I am yours, I shall protect him from all creatures. So this Ramachandra says, if only once one seriously surrenders unto me. What does he say? Oh my dear Lord, tavasmiti. Tavasmi. I am yours. I am yours. I belong to you. Tavasmi iti yachate. Abhayam sarva bhutebhyo. Abhayam. He gives abhaya. He gives fearlessness. He bestows fearlessness. Sarva bhutebhyo. Dadami etam. Vratam mama. This is my vow. This is my vow. I have taken this vow. Protect my devotees. When does he say this? He says this when Vibhishana comes to surrender unto him. Vibhishana, the brother of Ravana, does not like what Ravana is doing and splits from Ravana and comes seeking shelter of Lord Rama. Sugriva and the other Vanaras are very skeptical of this. Even Lakshmana is skeptical. But Hanuman, understanding the heart of Lord Rama, says that I think this Vibhishana is very genuine. That also because he had experience of Vibhishana, but he also says this Vibhishana is very sincere. I think we should give him a chance. And Rama, hearing, Hanuman's words, becomes very pleased, and then he says this. He says, even once somebody comes, even if he's planning to cheat me, but if one sincerely he comes, I am yours, I will protect him. This This is the purport of that. So, um, here I wanted to describe a few incidents from Ramayana, which we can understand the Vedic culture, and I'm going to kind of jump all over the place as my memory, um, uh, you know, helps me. So, Lord Ramachandra had three brothers, right? Who are the three brothers? Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Shatrughna. He had three brothers. So, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Right? Of these, Lakshmana was very devoted to Lord Rama, and Bharata was very devoted to Bharata. Sorry, Shatrughna was very devoted to Bharata. Right? Now, in the Ramayana, you will see that when Dasharatha has to give this, bound by his promise to Kaikeyi, maybe you want to drink some water, wash your face or something. So, bound by his promise to Kaikeyi, he has to instruct Lord Rama. What does he have to instruct him? You have to go to the forest. You have to go to the forest. You have to go to the forest. And the second promise that Kaikeyi gets from is from Dasharatha is that Bharata must be coronated as the king. That you must instruct Bharata to be coronated as the king. Now, there are so many reasons that one will find in the Ramayana. So many people are telling Rama that you don't have to accept this instruction of Dasharatha. Dasharatha himself is saying, Rama, please reject this instruction. Please reject it. Please reject it. I am bound by this promise to my wretched wife, Kaikeyi. Please reject this. But Rama doesn't reject it. Why? Because he worships his father like God. That this culture of respecting one's parents, especially respecting one's father, as like the father, whatever the instruction the father gives is like an instruction received from God himself. It must be taken with all seriousness. Rama would not budge. He said, no, you have given instruction. I will not transgress this instruction. I will not transgress this instruction. This culture is found in Vedic society, that when the father says something, the son must accept it. And in this case, there is so many arguments that the son, that Rama could have rejected this advice of Dasharatha, but he did not do so. Now, there's more to this, right? Okay, so Rama, now Dasharatha instructs, or Dasharatha gives the order. He doesn't instruct Bharata, because why? Because why doesn't Dasharatha instruct Bharata? Because Dasharatha never saw Bharata. By the time Bharata came, Dasharatha passed away. He passed away. He could not do it. He gave the instruction, he said Bharata should be crowned as the king, finished. Now, did Bharata not listen to his father? So Bharata was supposed to be coronated as king, right? Now Rama listened to his father. Bharata did not listen to his father. Because he was coronated as the king when Rama left. He was not coronated. He lived outside. He told the king on behalf of Rama. No, but he never allowed the coronation ceremony to happen. Vashishta approaches Bharata and tells him that this coronation, now accept this coronation. And Bharata sheds tears. He cries. He says, Vashishta Acharya, please do not give me this kind of instruction. Please do not do this. Do not ask me. Vashishta informs Bharata, your father desired, upon the request of Kaikeyi, that you must be coronated as the king. Bharata says, how can I do this? How can I perform this adharmic activity? How is this possible? See, now you have to understand that while the Ramayana is speaking culture and instruction, right? Well, we are saying the father's instruction must be accepted, right? But Bharata did not accept. Meaning that dharma always carries precedence. That which is dharmic must always be done. Bharata has pleased his father. Now, in the case of Lord Rama, he could have rejected Dasharatha's request. Dasharatha himself is saying, reject it. But why did Lord Rama not do it? The fame, yes, but ultimately the point is that doing so would be an exhibition of selfishness. It could be misconstrued as a characteristic of selfishness. That Lord Ramachandra accepted, he wanted to rule the kingdom, therefore he disobeyed his father also. Whereas in the case of Bharata, what does happen if he accepts, then that will be the conclusion. See, this Bharata, what he wanted to do with Kaikeyi, they nicely schemed, they planned, and they basically robbed the kingdom away from Lord Rama. That would have brought infamy to his entire dynasty. Therefore, Bharata would not do it. So ultimately, you see, the point is, dharma is always performed in a selfless manner. The characteristic of dharma performing duty is what is pleasing, what needs to be performed according to duty here. Not what is pleasing to my senses. Not what is pleasing to me. This is not the platform of judging what we have to do and what we should not do. The problem is, in the conditioned world, those who are, as you proceed lower to the varnas, what is all this characteristic of caste and all this characteristic of low born, high born and all this stuff? The low born people, they act according to how their senses feel, how their mind feels. This is what they think has to be done. They think according in terms of their economic survival. They think in terms of what brings comfort to them. They think in terms of what brings sex pleasure to them. They think of what brings safety, what brings friends, society, fame, all this kind of things. But those who are of the higher caste, they think, what is according to Shastra? How is it? Bharata is thinking, how is it possible? This cannot happen in the Ikshvaku dynasty. This cannot happen in the Ikshvaku dynasty, that when the older brother is alive, the younger brother is taking the throne. What a shame. Let me kill myself. And he's so pained. He's so pained. When he returns back from Kaikeya. He returns back from Kaikeya. Basically, he's returning back from Afghanistan. No, not Afghanistan. He's returning back from Kekaya, which is northwest Pakistan. So he's returning back from there, from his maternal, grandfather's home. And he's returning back, and all the citizens are thinking, entering the city of Ayodhya, and all the citizens are displeased to see him. Oh, finally this Bharata has come to take the kingdom away from Lord Rama. Finally he has come. Everybody is thinking like that. Even Kausalya is thinking like this. And Bharata is unable to tolerate it. Now, when Kaikeyi informs him of the news, Bharata is so angry that he wants to cut her head off. He wants to kill his own mother. Now imagine, we are talking of a culture here where Rama cannot even, in his mind, he cannot even think that option, that thought does not come of disobeying his father's order. Right? How much agony would have Bharata been facing that he wanted to kill his own mother? And he doesn't do it. Why? Because Lord Rama would not be pleased. Now, why does Bharata suddenly give so much importance to Rama? Why has he always given importance to Lord Rama? Because the elder brother is as good as the father. Now, how much older was Lord Rama to Bharata? 1 day. That's what Shyamasundar Prabhu said. Yep. Shyamasundar Prabhu said that in his class. 1 day. Rama is 1 day older to Bharata. 1 day older, and you will see in Ramayana, Bharata treats him as if he is like his father. It's unbelievable, this culture. On the other hand, we just become like, anybody who's the same age, it's like, even if they're just a few years old, we just become like accustomed to it. But it's so difficult for us to imagine this culture. One day older, and he's worshipping him like his guru, like his father, like God himself. This is the culture that Bharata is exhibiting. When Lord Ramachandra is in exile, what does Bharata do? He places Lord Ramachandra's shoes, padukas. He places it on the throne. And he considers himself a servant of Lord Rama. He rules the kingdom from a village on the outskirts of the kingdom. And over there, how is he leading his life? He has also worn bark, the bark garments. I don't know what they're called. Bark, tree bark, and some word is used, but anyways. And then he also has matted hair, because that's how Lord Ramachandra has. He has matted hair. He is lying down on the floor, kusha grass, on a mat made of kusha grass. And he's eating very simple food, hardly anything. No? And when Lord Ramachandra finally arrives and Bharata receives news, Hanuman goes ahead and informs Bharata that Lord Ramachandra is coming. And you know what Lord Ramachandra says? He says, Hanuman, when you go there to see Bharata, tell him this news, that I am returning. My period, 14-year exile is over. Now I am coming back. Observe his characteristics. See if he is elated or not. This is all described in the Ramayana. Observe his characteristics. Observe his facial movements. Clearly note his words. And tell me if he is happy, pleased, sad upon my arrival. And when Hanuman goes, Bharata exhibits so much ecstasy that Hanuman becomes so moved, he becomes so happy seeing Bharata's devotion for Lord Rama, that when Lord Ramachandra comes, Bharata carries Lord Rama's shoes on his head and approaches Lord Rama, places it in front of Lord Rama and offers full prostrated obeisances unto Lord Ramachandra. Ramachandra, shedding tears of joy, picks up Bharata and embraces him, saying that, oh my dear brother, you have accepted so many austerities. And he did not have to do so. Bharata did not have to do any of this. Why did he do that? Why did Bharata feel obligated to do something that neither his father nor his Acharya Vashishta instructed him to do? Neither his brother, his older brother Lord Rama, he said, Bharata, just go and rule the kingdom, coronate, no problem. Father has told you, you become the king. Bharata sheds tears. He said, what sinful activity have I committed that you are uttering this and I have to hear this with my ears? And I'm still not, and I'm still alive. I should have passed away just hearing all of this. But I'm not, my heart has not stopped because it's made of steel. This is how just see this selfless characteristic of Bharata. So, why did Bharata feel this? Why did Bharata feel this obligation? Why did Bharata have to do things that was not expected? Because it would please Rama. How did he know it would please Rama? No, that's okay. How did he know that his activities will please Lord Rama? Although in one sense he's kind of disobeying. I mean, Rama is telling, go become the king. No, but he could do it. How did he know? Okay. More. A servant knows the heart of the master. He knows the heart of the master. The disciple knows the heart of the spiritual master. See, Srila Prabhupada was asked to preach in the West by Bhakti. He was asked to preach in English. Actually, that was the instruction, right? And Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he explains that Srila Prabhupada could have fulfilled that order of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur by writing articles in English. And in that way, he would have fulfilled the order. But Srila Prabhupada didn't do that. He took more. He gave a whole purport to that instruction. And he made that purport his life. And how did he make that purport? That purport was based upon the heart of his spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada went to the West and stayed and preached in the West. He did so many things that Bhakti Siddhanta didn't directly tell him to do. Another thing that Bhakti Siddhanta never said, which Srila Prabhupada did, was to re-establish the Krishna consciousness in the Indian subcontinent. Now, why did Srila Prabhupada do that? Because if, you can think about it, that the Krishna consciousness movement that his spiritual master had established had become basically disintegrated and become irrelevant by the time Srila Prabhupada had established the Hare Krishna movement in the Western world. His spiritual master didn't ask him to save his society. But Srila Prabhupada knows the heart of his spiritual master. He knows that he wasn't asked to do that, but if he did it, and if Krishna consciousness was to have a resurgence in India, like it is having today, obviously Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would be pleased beyond description. Is it not? This is understanding the heart of the master. These are the things we can learn from Ramayana. These are the things we can learn from our Acharya's activities. How? They go over and beyond. What was Hanuman asked to do? Find out where Sita is. This was the task that was given. He found. Jatayu already said. Sorry, not Jatayu. Jatayu's brother. What is his name? Oh, Krishna. Jatayu's brother. Anyways, I forget. Jatayu's brother, the bird, already tells the Vanaras over there that Sita is over there. Now, they received information, but Hanuman says that we have to go and see personally. We have to verify personally. So, of course, Hanuman jumps over the ocean and sees Sita. He's seen Sita. He has conveyed the message. He has given her the message that Lord Rama is going to come and save her. And he has also collected some jewels from Sita to prove to Lord Rama that he has actually seen her. His task is over. But what does Hanuman do after that? He says, you see, we're going to come and attack this place. Lord Ramachandra obviously would want to know the strength of his enemy. He would want to know the strength of the fortifications. He would want to understand what is this enemy. I am servant of Lord Rama. Who can touch me? I will show these people that I am mere. And Hanuman really considered himself to be an insignificant servant of Lord Rama. He considered Sugriva and others to be greater than him. And then what does he do? He creates havoc. He kills so many Rakshasas, and he finally gets to meet Ravana face to face. Actually, he wants to meet Ravana face to face, and he wants to give him the message. He wants to say, you rascal, I'd return Sita. Return Sita and you will be saved. Otherwise, Lord Rama is going to come and his arrows will burn you. It will chop all your heads off. And he wanted to see Ravana, but how is he going to see him? So I have to create havoc. Otherwise, I'm not going to get audience. Let me create havoc. Let me kill so many people. And he kills. But he doesn't kill Ravana. And he tells Ravana, he said, actually, if I want, I can kill you also. But I won't. Actually, all of us, we have several warriors who are very powerful in our army. But you deserve Lord Rama's arrows for what you did. Therefore, Lord Rama will have to come and get. Sita also says the same thing. Sita says the same thing to Ravana. I can just curse you to die. But I won't curse you to die. because I haven't received an order like this from my master, Rama. Rama has not instructed me to kill you. Otherwise, I would kill you now. Who are you? You're like a wasp in front of my Rama. No, you're some insignificant, brutish demon. And when Ravana approaches Sita, what does she do? She turns away, she turns her back. She places a blade of grass in between her and Ravana to signify separation. That you see, I'm still separate from you. I'm not associating with you. Although the guy wants to come close. She puts a blade of grass in between. Although the rascal already touched her, already grabbed her, she says, that time I couldn't do anything. But now I'm not going to let you come. Here's a blade of grass. And another thing, how is Sita? How is her exhibition? How does she look when she's found in Ashoka Vatika? When she's found in the Ashoka gardens by Hanuman in Lanka. She has her hair let loose. She isn't decorated. She's wearing the same garment that she wore when Ravana had captured her. Same garment. She hasn't taken it off. She hasn't decorated herself. She hasn't bathed. This is, of course, extreme, but it gives an idea. What Vedic culture do we understand here? How does a woman feel when her husband, how does a wife feel when her husband is not there? She doesn't want to show herself as being very attractive to the opposite sex. Her beauty is reserved for her husband and not for anybody else. These characteristics you will find. Sita, although she's unlimitedly beautiful, and although Sita Devi can never actually hide her beauty, I mean, her beauty, she's effulgent. Even in that condition, Hanuman finds her. I wanted to read all these sections, but then it'll take forever. So Hanuman finds her as being like, in spite of that, he finds that her beauty is unmatched in the three worlds. That this must be Sita. Then how else does he identify Sita? Actually, he finds one other beautiful lady in Ravana's quarters. Who is that? Mandodari, Ravana's chief wife. She's also extremely beautiful. Of course, nothing compared to Sita, but extremely beautiful. When he finds Mandodari, initially, Hanuman thinks he found Sita. And how does he find Mandodari? She's just sleeping. She's sleeping after a night of enjoyment with Ravana. And then Hanuman stops himself. Why does he stop himself? He says it can't be Sita. Why can't it be Sita? Huh? I mean, Sita is Ravana. She was not decorated, but there she was kind of disheveled because after a night of enjoyment. But what was the main characteristic that Hanuman noted? Huh? She was sleeping. What's wrong with sleeping? Huh? That she was sleeping very peacefully. She was sleeping quite contently. That she couldn't sleep. That Sita, how could she sleep without her husband? How could she, even if she was to doze off here and there, it still wouldn't be like this nice, comfortable and happily sleeping. There's another thing, right? When you find someone happily sleeping and then there's like disturbed sleep. This Mandodari is sleeping happily. That can't be. It can't be. Sita, and here Hanuman has never met Sita. Note, he has never met Sita. He's only heard about her. And remember, there's only Lakshmana and Lakshmana and Rama. So the information that Hanuman would have received of Sita would be somewhat limited. Right? Because the only two personalities are Lakshmana and Rama. They will give some description. How much more will they describe? Okay? So, how is he then able to intuitively identify who Sita is? A bhakta can identify a bhakta. A devotee can identify another devotee. A devotee immediately by looking at the lakshanas, a devotee is one who's devoted to the Supreme Lord, means he's not devoted to anybody else. This is why Ramayana plays such a central role in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, who they give a lot of importance to accepting the Lord as your sole master. You know that clearly. Who is a devotee? Who is a Vaishnava? Obviously, he's not worshipping demigods. He's not devoted to the demigods. How can he be devoted? Obviously, Mandodari is not wife of Lord Rama. She doesn't look like she's solely dedicated to Rama. Her exclusive, she doesn't have exclusive devotion. Hanuman had exclusive devotion to Rama, and he was able to immediately identify that exclusive devotion in Sita. That he was able to identify. And also, of course, it's very beautiful. So that this description of Hanuman finding Sita, Kamba describes it very beautifully in Tamil, and then there are songs that are sung by poets following Kamba's line. So there is there's a very nice description. So here that so Hanuman finds Sita. How is Sita? How is Sita looking? She's looking like this. She's looking like a lotus that has been withered due to lack of nourishment, lack of water, or a lotus that's withered. And he gives like these. Okay, here's actually we'll just read from here. I'll before I get to that Kamba Ramayana, here it's described Hanuman. He says that she, appearing most glorious, she suffered acute anguish, and thus appeared like a sacred text misinterpreted, like wealth squandered, like faith shattered, like hope frustrated, like ideals impeded, like intellect corrupted, or like fame blackened. So these are some amazing descriptions. And when Ravana is coming, he's approaching Sita. Now he has to describe all of these things. He's describing all this to Lord Rama, right? And he's describing, now he has to describe these things in a way that is loyal to Sita, because these are very important descriptions. Remember, Rama, although he loves all his subjects, he's also putting them to the test, just like he put Bharata to the test. Hanuman, go and observe Bharata. How is he reacting to news of my arrival? If he is having anything, I'll just stay here. I won't go. I won't go back to Ayodhya. Let him rule Ayodhya. I don't want. So now Hanuman is tasked with this very important task. Sita is a wife who has been separated from her husband and who's staying in the house of another man. It's a very delicate matter. And he has to convey this to his master. It's not an easy task. Hanuman, so first thing, when Hanuman comes to see Rama, this Kamba describes, right? This is after he returns back. He's at Kishkinda. Now they are going. Rama is informed that Hanuman is coming, and that, he is seeing the joyous nature, and they are all saying that yes, Rama has already received news that Hanuman is bringing good news. He has found where Sita is. But he wants to hear it from Hanuman. Hanuman, even before he comes close to Lord Rama, he shouts from a distance. He said, I have seen, I have seen, I have seen. I have seen, I have seen, I have seen. Not that I have heard, I have seen. He didn't say I have heard. I have seen. I have personally seen. And what did you see? He could have said, I saw Sita. Right? But he says, I saw she who is the very embodiment of chastity. First, he knows the heart of his master. That is the first thing he says. Just see how Hanuman knows the heart of his master, Lord Rama. The first thing he says, I have seen her who is the embodiment of chastity, she who beautifies chastity, she who is chastity herself. I have seen her. Meaning that the first concern of a husband is his wife still loyal to him? First thing. He doesn't say, I saw Sita. This is how Kamba describes. Right? Kamba has his own flavor, which is bona fide. But he says, I've seen Sita, who is the very embodiment of chastity. And then he describes this incident where, Ravana is approaching, Sita. And how does she respond? She immediately says, Chi Chi, Chi Chi. Like, were you coming close, Chi Chi? It means like, I don't even want to, it's like, Chi Chi, I don't know if there's like a disgust. Is there anything like that in English? Shoo shoo, like that, maybe, yeah. Maybe. It's not that close. Shoo shoo means to ward off. But kind of, it's something similar. So she says, Chi Chi, meaning like, poo. It's like spitting actually. Chi Chi. And what does she also say? She says, stop. Stop right there. Stop there. And she places a blade of grass in there. And then in spite of all that, what does she do? She decides to commit suicide. So he's explaining how she's deciding to commit suicide. And at that time, what stopped her from committing suicide? That was all there. But what really stopped her? Hanuman sings the name of Lord Rama. He chants the name of Lord Rama. He says, seeing that she was about to pass away and seeing that our whole mission may become undone, I immediately started singing Rama, 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 and then she stopped. Yeah, there's a great poem there, yeah. I want to read, which is lack of time. So, huh? Yeah. Okay. So here, Hanuman is concerned because, Sita is now suspecting everything to be, Sita is suspecting everything to be Ravana's tricks. And therefore, she is, even if she sees Hanuman, she doesn't know Hanuman. Who is this monkey? Remember, Sita Devi, okay, here's the description that you will find in Valmiki Ramayana. When Sita comes for the marriage ceremony, before the marriage ceremony, when Sita is brought at the assembly where Rama breaks the bow of Lord Shiva Dhanush, he breaks. That is the first time that Sita is in public. All the citizens of Janakpur, they are seeing Sita for the first time. She has never left the inner quarters of the palace. And remember, those palaces are huge. They have their own garden. It's like a whole country of its own. So it's not like it's like a real confinement. It's by no means is it a confinement. So they've never seen Sita. This is Sita. Sita is very innocent. She hasn't seen many things. That Sita, who has been brought up like that, has been given in marriage to Lord Ramachandra, who is the son of the emperor of the world, the descendant of Ikshvaku, King Dasharatha. And in Ayodhya, she lives another royal life. She doesn't know life. Actually, this is what happens when Rama wants to go to the forest. Sita says, I'll come also. At that time, Rama is saying, you want to come to the forest. You don't know a life without servant. You don't know anything. So, no, I'll come. What does Sita do? Sita is saying, Rama, you also give me. What are you wearing? Bark garments? Give me that also. So then she gets it. And then she doesn't know how to wear it. She doesn't know how to wear it. She's trying to wear it. She's never lived that life. She doesn't know how to live. She doesn't know how to wear these bark garments. Now, poets like Kamba and other devotees of Lord Rama, they have songs describing all of this. They have songs describing the anguish felt by the servants of Sita. Look, seeing Sita, what have we done? What has happened? How many sinful activities have we committed that our Sita, who is as tender as a lotus, has to wear these rough bar garments? She who is never, her feet have never touched thorny, her feet is so soft. Her that soft Sita's golden body, who has a complexion like that of lightning, she has to wear these bar garments. They are crying. It is so, the emotions that are felt at that point, it is very heavy. That feeling of servitude. And they are unable to do anything about it. They can't do anything. And this in this feelings of separation and anguish and lamentation lie the greatest devotion to the Supreme Lord. This is what Lord Chaitanya came to give us. So this Sita has never seen this kind of Vanara, monkey, half man, half monkey, this kind of form. She's never seen these things. So Hanuman has to deal with this very carefully. Hanuman's a very intelligent servant, very intelligent servant. So he decides to sing. He's from the branches of the great Ashoka tree. Hanuman is not seen yet. He starts to sing. Descendant of Ikshvaku king Dasharatha was his name. Righteous and heroic, he ruled Ayodhya of fame. He received 4 mighty sons, Rama, the loved of his heart, full of infinite potency, Vishnu in human part. To give Kaikeyi her boons, into exile Rama was sent. Upholder of his father's vow, with Sita and Lakshmana he went. When Rama killed the Rakshasas who filled the rishis with fear, Ravana kidnapped Sita with help of Maricha the deer. Then in his search for Sita, Rama made Sugriva a friend. To search the southern quarter, I, Hanuman, did he send. After crossing many mountains, I jumped the ocean vast, and thus I have succeeded in finding you at last. Rama will come to save you, his dearly beloved wife. Now give me a little message to save your husband's life. So this, and of course, Sita becomes paused. She's looking around. He's paused her. So different, again, Kamba describes it differently. Kamba says he just starts chanting Rama's name. And then Kamba has songs. So, and following in line of Kamba, following different acharyas and poets have composed so many songs of these different incidents, all in line, perfectly in line with Valmiki Ramayana and Kamba Ramayana, but just bringing out that devotion, bringing out that nectar. And these things form the culture of Vedic society. People would sing these. They would enact dramas of these things. They would speak about these things. You can imagine, you will not find one woman in India, even today, in spite of all the degradation. You will not find one woman, the Shyamasundar Prabhu was saying this very interesting point, who is named Kaikeyi. Not one woman named Manthara. You will not find. Even today you will not find. Who will name her daughter Kaikeyi? Who will name his daughter Kaikeyi? Who will name his daughter Manthara? You crazy or what? Because that is the influence that it has had on the culture. So this is very important to understand. Where is Mataji? Oh, I see. So this is the culture of Ramayana, how much it has played a role. There is another thing I wanted to read here from the Ramayana commentary by Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu. This is a very famous pastime. This is the wedding of Lord Rama and Sita. Most South Indian weddings are based on the marriage of Rama and Sita, based on the, and there is one very important verse that Janaka chants. King Janaka, father of Sita, says when he's giving her he gives her in charity. He gives her in charity to Lord Rama. So I'll read the description here. This is Canto 1 of Valmiki Ramayana. This is Balakanda, and volume 3, chapter 73, text 30 to 32. King Janaka then brought Sita Devi and placed her in front of the sacred fire, facing Raghava. Raghava is Rama, another name for Lord Rama. She was fully decorated with ornaments and appeared to be like Padma without her lotus, having fallen off the lap of Lord Keshava. Her complexion was like that of lightning, her eyes were elongated, her hair was soft and curly. She wore a slightly yellowish silk garment painted with swans, and the upper part of her body was well covered with a perfumed deep red upper cloth. Meaning her hair was covered. King Janaka spoke to Rama, who increases the happiness of Kausalya. So King Janaka spoke to Rama, who increases the happiness of Kausalya. Here, the name of Lord Rama given over here is Kausalyananda Varadham. Kausalyananda Vardhanam. Kausalyananda Vardhanam. Kausalyananda Vardhanam. So this is another very important point that the Sri Vaishnavas also say. In the Venkatesha Suprabhatam, that the Sri Vaishnavas chant. The Sri Vaishnavas say that, Acharyas say that this verse was chanted by Vishwamitra when Rama and Lakshmana were in the forest with him. Young boys, they were still unmarried, brahmacharis, and they are sleeping in the forest. And Vishwamitra has to wake them up. It's now 4 o'clock, time for Mangalarti. So he has to wake them up. Purva Sandhya. This Purva Sandhya, it is before Sandhya, the period before Sandhya, Brahma Muhurta. So Vishwamitra says, he chants. He says, Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartite Uttishta Narasa Dhula Kartavyam Daivam Anghikam. So he says, he calls Rama Kausalya Supraja. He doesn't say Dasharatha Supraja. And the Sri Vaishnavas give a commentary on this, saying, why does Vishwamitra say Kausalya Supraja, not Dasharatha Supraja? He's also son of Dasharatha. Why does he say it's Kausalya Supraja? Because, that's one point, that he's exclusively the son, because Dasharatha Supraja can refer to Lakshmana, it can refer to Bharata, it can refer to Shatrughna. Kausalya Supraja is only Lord Rama. So that is one reason. Another meaning, Vishwamitra is looking at this beautiful scene of Lord Rama sleeping. And it is said, the Sri Vaishnavas say, that when Lord Rama sleeps, he would never sleep without Lakshmana. Lakshmana would always sleep right next to Lord Rama. From their very birth, Lakshmana would not sleep without Lord Rama. And at night, what would happen? Lord Rama would turn into Mahavishnu and Lakshmana would turn into Anantasesh. And there the Supreme Lord is lying and happily resting. And that Vishwamitra had this darshan. And he is thinking, this is the first time he is having this darshan. He is thinking, this Kausalya, she is so fortunate she is having this darshan. Why is he thinking Kausalya is having this darshan? Because Dasharatha has multiple wives. He has to spend time with other wives also. No, he can't just spend time only with Kausalya. But Kausalya got to see this. Because Hanuman's a young boy. Kausalya got to see. She put him to sleep every night and she woke him up every morning. She got to see this for so many years. What a fortunate lady. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate. That Purva Sandhya has come, Brahma Muhurta has come. Uttishta, please get up. Uttishta Narasa Dhura. That, oh best of men, please get up. Kartavyam Deva Mangikam. Perform your Sandhya Vandanam. Perform your worship. Chant your Gayatris. Perform, it is time. It is time to worship. Kartavyam Deva Mangikam. And then, then it goes Uttishta, Uttishta, Govinda, Uttishta, Garuda, Dvaja, Uttishta, Kamala, Kanta, Trilokyam, Mangalam, Kuru. So Uttishta, Uttishta, Govinda, oh Govinda, get up. Uttishta, Kamala, Kanta. one who has beautiful eyes, eyes like that of a lotus, Kamala Kanta. Uttishta Govinda, Uttishta Garuda Dwaja, one who rides upon Garuda Dwaja, or also one whose chariot has the flag of Garuda Dwaja. Arjuna is Kapit Dwaja. He has the flag of Hanuman. So, Lord Rama is Garuda Dwaja, and Trailokya Mangalam Kuru. Make all the three worlds auspicious. May you make all the three worlds auspicious. So here it says, spoke to Rama who increases the happiness of Kausalya. Another meaning here is that generally among the parents, the mother is the one who's most happy to see the children married. Yeah, more than the father. The mother is the one who feels happy. So now Rama is getting married. Who's going to be very happy? Kausalya. So Kausalyananda Vardhanam. Okay. Then he says this important verse. This is stated in the invitations of several South Indian marriages. It's stated as part of the rituals itself. Iyam Sita Mamasuta Sahadharmachari Tava Praticha Chainam Bhadram Te Panim Grihishwa Panina. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Yeah, he says, here is Sita, my daughter. Accept her as your dharmika companion. May there be auspiciousness unto you. With your hand, please accept her hand. So, here is very interesting. In this verse, Janaka, so here, Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu gives almost 4.5 page commentary. No, 3-page commentary on this verse. So, he says here, Iyam Sita. Now, he has to say that this is Sita. Doesn't Rama already know that this is Sita? Why does he Iyam Sita? So, no, but Rama already knows this is Sita. He says Iyam Sita. So, what does it say? It meaning that this word Sita, it refers to she who was born from a furrow, meaning she who was dug up. She appeared from the ground. Sita didn't appear from the womb. She did not appear. She was born. She was born when Janaka Maharaj was plowing the earth for a sacrifice. And that is the name of Sita. Another reference that Sri Vaishnava Acharyas give, this I found in another website, Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, they give this, particularly Velukudi Krishnan. He says this, that he says Sita because Lord Rama had already seen Sita according to Valmiki Ramayana. He already saw Sita at the Shiva Dhanush, right? After that, Rama became so attracted to Sita that everywhere he only saw Sita. So Janaka, just to make sure that Rama doesn't go and grab somebody else thinking that they are Sita, he says, actually Sita is here. Because you're seeing everywhere Sita, but this is actually Sita, she's here. Iyam Sita. So, this is one explanation that the Sri Vaishnavas give. Again, beautiful. So many, different perspectives and commentaries on these pastimes. Just beautiful. And then, and it says here, Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu writes, just as one sees, this is the third explanation, just as one sees a flash of lightning, one becomes dazed and is momentarily unable to see distinctly. Similarly, as soon as Lord Rama saw Sita, he became dazed and momentarily was unable to see her form distinctly. Therefore, he was told, here is Sita. We see all these movies where the girlfriend comes, immediately the boyfriend is like, ha ha ha, and this and that, and he's like shocked. They all look ugly, just made of, huh? Not in Hollywood. It's all in India. Oh my God! You have to see how much they have to make all these graphic designs and all this because it's all based on this guy. So it's like this romantic story. He sees suddenly all the flowers fall from the sky, flashes of lightning come, butterflies are flying and the birds are chirping and all this kind of stuff. And ultimately, it's simply a body made of stool and pus and urine and what is that's all. But when Lord Rama sees Sita, he experiences all of that. This is all meant for Lord Rama's enjoyment and Lord Rama's enjoyment only. not for anybody else's enjoyment. Okay, so he becomes dazed. Therefore, Janaka is saying, "Oh, here is Sita. Calm down. Here is Sita." This is where she is. It's amazing, isn't it? Another reason. Just as Lord Rama thinks and acts like a human being, so does Sita. She considered herself belonging to Raghava. Therefore, Janaka says, "Here is Sita." So this is another explanation. And then, anticipating that Rama might think, but beauty is not our only requirement. What do you think? I'm just attracted by beauty? That's all? Beauty is not our requirement. Birth in a noble family is important. Birth is a noble family. Janaka immediately says, Iyam Sita, Mama Suta, my daughter. She's my daughter. What is her lineage? She's my daughter. I am Janaka. The idea is the dynasty of Janaka is well known for its strict behavior. Actually, before this, Dasharatha, basically the entire Janaka describes his whole lineage to Dasharatha. They all come, and Janaka is describing his whole lineage, a whole chapter about who is king, what king, this is the king, son of this king, that and that big lineage is described. Then Janaka is saying, this is my daughter, this is my lineage, this is a big lineage, I have very prestigious lineage. And dynasty is well known for its strict behavior in accordance to Vedic dharma. So what more needs to be said in this regard? Dasharatha had performed several penances to attain Rama as his son. So just like Dasharatha performed several penances, Janaka also obtained this beautiful girl as his daughter. And both of them therefore are ideal match. So he said, similarly, Janaka had performed many austerities in order to give Sita to Rama. Therefore, he refers to her as my daughter. It can be anticipated that Sri Rama may think, all right, this beautiful lady can be for my enjoyment. For engagement to dharma, however, I might require another wife. So Janaka mentions, accept her as your dharmika companion. So he says, Iyam Sita Mama Suta Saha Dharmachari Tava. That you don't have to accept any other wife for performing dharma. She is dharmachari. She is dharmachari Tava. She will perform dharma with you. You don't have to accept some other wife. So the implication is, she's not only for your enjoyment, she's also for your engagement in dharma as your companion. The other meaning to this is that one's wife is not just for one's enjoyment. One's wife is actually meant for one to execute dharma, to perform Krishna consciousness. This is the purpose that one accepts a wife. So this Janaka Maharaj is explaining. Sahadharmachari. She will practice the same religion. And what will she perform? Will she perform some other religious principles? No. Sahadharmachari. She will perform the same religious principles as you. Sahadharmachari Tava. Tava, your. Along with you. Not only same, she'll perform it along with you. She won't go somewhere else and perform her own thing. This is not wife. So here, this has to be understood. So then, Lord Rama will say, Mitra bhavena sampraptam na tyajeyam katanchana dasho yadyapi tasya syat satam etad agarhitam. If one has come to me in a friendly spirit, I will never abandon him, even if he has some defect. This is honored by the civilization. And just like Rama, Sita will say, O monkey, a noble person should be compassionate upon those who are fit to be killed, whether they are sinful or pious, if they have taken shelter of him. There is no one who does not commit a mistake. So Sita, she says this, right? She doesn't want, for instance, when did she say this? So when Hanuman meets her in Ashoka Vatika, he wants to kill all these other servants who have tortured her so much on the instruction of Ravana. Sita says, no, don't kill her. Don't kill them. Don't kill them. One should be compassionate upon those who are not fit to be killed, whether they are sinful or pious. So Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu is making that comparison. That just like Rama, he doesn't want to kill somebody. Even if someone has come to me in a friendly spirit, I will never abandon him, even if he has some defect. Similarly, Sita also, she is also forgiving. The point is Sahadharmachari. They are of the same mentality, same mood. So then Janaka thought, despite Sita's beauty, noble birth and devotion to dharma and so on, without my permission, Rama will not take her. So therefore he says, what does he say? He says, Praticha tainam badramte pani grihishva paninam. That he says, Praticha, that you please accept. Where is this? Pratichate, please accept. So please accept, because with my permission, without permission, Rama will not accept. So please accept. Okay. But he doesn't say here, don't go wrong, Prabhu say, he didn't say, I give her to you, for Sita does not exist separately from Rama, and so giving her to him would be inappropriate. Now, another reason that was stated by the Sri Vaishnavas was that when he gives, he's also a little, he's a little concerned. He says, I have to give, I have to give. But then if Lord Rama thinks, I'm Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are you to give me anything? And Janaka also realizes that Rama is Supreme Personality of Godhead. What can I give to Lord Rama? Supreme Personality, what if he gets offended? Therefore he says, Badram te. May all auspiciousness be to you. Be pleased. Be pleased. May all auspiciousness be with you. Be pleased. Be pleased with us. Accept this as a service. So this is again Sri Vaishnava's mood of dasya. They instill that everywhere. Where they even, but the Ramayana is primarily filled with that mood. Because even Janaka Maharaj knows that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So therefore he doesn't say, I give you. He says that, please accept. So Badram te. And actually here Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu also says that. So, and then of course Janaka Maharaj is blessing them so that they become free from all evil thing. And then Janaka Maharaj requests, he says, Pani grihishva paninam, that please accept her hand, because by grasping the hand of a woman, one accepts her as his wife. So please accept her hand. And when you accept her hand, what do? You circumambulate the fire. If you look at marriage ceremonies, they always circumambulate the fire. And they have to fall. So the husband holds the hand of the wife and circumambulates the fire. This is all from Ramayana. This is all from Rama. This is all from Lord Rama's pastimes. And then he says one very nice verse. He says, Pativrata Mahabhaga Chayevanu Gata Sada Ityuktva Prakshipad Raja Mantraputam Jalam Tada. Sita of great fortune will be devoted to her husband, always following him like his shadow. Sita quotes this when Lord Rama wants to leave for the forest. He said, my father said, I have to follow you. Chayevanu Gata Sada. Sada, he said, always I have to follow you like a shadow. Or he said, I will follow you like a shadow. You are going to the forest, I must also come with you. Then Rama says, okay, I have to accept. So there's just so many things that can be said in the Ramayana like this, but we can see how these things have influenced the very culture and civilization of India. And that, their entire songs that the mood that when a person accepts a wife, when the marriage happens, is the mood of Lord Rama accepting Sita. That yes, there is a consideration of beauty, but it is only one of the considerations. There is lineage, there is dharma. All of these things have to be taken into consideration. And ultimately you are devoted for life. And all these things, this culture of where all this chastity, devotion, staying together in marriage, where all these fanatical concepts come from, they all come from Ramayana. It's not, ideally this is what civilization is meant to be. And gradually this is the culture of Krishna consciousness that the members of the Krishna consciousness movement should try to establish. It is a very high culture. I will say one last thing and then I will end. What to do? I'm sorry, probably the longest class I've ever given here. That when Bharadwaja Muni, so Rama visits Bharadwaja Muni's ashrama, and then Bharadwaja Muni instructs Rama. He says, Bharadwaja Muni, Rama asks, where do you think I can spend? I have to spend 14 years in exile. Bharadwaja Muni says, you need to spend, what do you do? Go south. Go south to the Dandaka forest, Dandaka Aranya. Go there, because there are so many rishis, and all these demons are like tormenting them, harassing them. You go and kill them. That way there will be some relief. There will be some peace. So then Rama accepts this. Then Valmiki Ramayana says, Sita raises a question. She first says, oh beloved Lord Rama, my beloved master, my husband, You know, I'm a very unintelligent woman. I hardly have any experience, and I'm actually quite stupid. I'm quite foolish. I'm not very intelligent. I don't know many worldly things. And you, oh Master, you're very intelligent. You're very learned, and you understand all the imports of all the shastras very well. These demons, they have not done any harm to us. They have not done any mistake to us. They have not affected us in any way. Why should we go and unnecessarily kill them? She asked this question. So then Lord Rama replies. Now note how she is presenting her questions to her husband. That first of all, she glorifies him and she puts herself in an unqualified position. But does that mean that she will not ask the question? No, she asks. She asks this question. And then Hanuman, and then how does Lord Rama reply? She says, "Oh, virtuous lady, you are actually very intelligent. You're very intelligent. And you've asked a very right question. You come from a glorious lineage." Then he explains that actually these rishis, they have the capability to curse these demons to die, but they don't want to do it. Why? Because their whatever tapasya and pious activity they are executing, that will go away. The potency will go away, and then they can't go to the heavenly planets. So they'd rather be torn apart by these hideous rakshasas and then attain the heavenly planets rather than give up their piety, their merits, the tapasya, the merits of their austerity. So therefore, it is the duty of Kshatriyas like myself to protect these rishis, to give facility for them to perform their austerities. Therefore, I must go and kill. Then Sita accepts. But you can see these are very small exchanges, but these exchanges have a lot of meaning and import to it. How the wife can raise an objection to a husband's decision. Already it was a decision. He already decided, working, on the way, Dandaka. And she's raising this question. But how she raises it, when she raises it, how she behaves with her husband. Anyways, Hare Krishna. So much more can be said. So much more can keep being said. We can keep talking whole day. We can just keep having this class and then break the fast. But anyways, we have to end. So, any questions or comments? No, he doesn't have anything.
I was thinking so much that even the demons, even Duryodhana,
Prabhu, look at what you're doing.
even Duryodhana and Dushasana, although they're really big demons, this culture of submission to the elder brother as good as God, he said,
Dushasana listens to Duryodhana.
He says, Duryodhana asked Karna to bring Dushasana to him. When the prince arrived, Duryodhana said, "O descendant of Bharata, hear my words. I order to be installed in my place as the earth's ruler. Become the refuge of your friends and relatives and the terror of your enemies. Always bestow charity upon the Brahmins and cherish your gurus. As Vishnu protects the celestials, so you should protect your dependents." So this is the order that Duryodhana is giving to Dushasana. Dushasana is the number one rascal and demon, But still, Dushasana was grief-stricken. He lowered his face and said, "Oh, brother, please give up your determination to die. It can never be. Do not accept such a path. How can I become a king in your place? The earth may be split, the heavens may fall, and the sun may lose its heat. But I will never rule the earth without you." Then he says, crying out, Dushasana was crying out, relent, please relent. Again and again, Dushasana fell at his brother's feet. "You alone shall be the king for 100 years, and I shall be your servant." You can see this, the effect of the Ramayana on the culture, of the Vedic culture,
Yeah, one point that, Shyamasundar Prabhu was making, which is true, is that when the Ramayana movie was first released, the whole of India would just stop. At that time, when it was literally, you can ask devotees at that time who were present also, everything would stop. There would be no cars on the road, nobody would be walking on the street, the shops wouldn't be open. Everybody would be watching the Muslims, everybody would be watching Ramayana. And the same thing for Mahabharata also. Then culture got degraded, but this was what it was. Ramayana and Mahabharata had such a huge influence and impact, and they are, especially Ramayana is meant to be heard again and again and again.
And Guru Maharaj also says that every time the Ramayana would be played on TV, everyone would take and do aarti to the TV when the Ramayana would start playing.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
would take an aarti plate and they would do the Hindu aarti, like that one.
Yeah.
They
No,
would
you're
do.
not doing it right. Okay.
I mean, like,
No, you have to do.
yeah, like
It is like this, then
yeah,
it is like this, then like
oh,
this,
wow.
like this. Like
Yeah, so they do that kind of aarti to the TV, and then the actress who played Sita, wherever she went, they would all start doing aarti to her. And,
Yeah, yeah, it was the whole
and,
thing. Even
and
even the person who played Krishna was,
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
treated like, yeah.
But the thing is, the actress would get really fried out. Like, why are these people treating me like Sita? Why don't you just treat me like
Like a prostitute,
like a
who I am.
prostitute who I am? Like,
It's
why you
like,
guys treating me like, And she would get fried out. But you can just see that the devotion is so embedded,
yeah, 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 yeah.
that no movie, no novel, no Lord of the Rings, nothing can ever come close
Not even close.
to
Yeah.
impacting an entire society
Not
and a
even close.
culture.
Not even close.
Like
Yeah.
this,
Okay. Yes, Abhimanyu.
In the Bhagavatam, I don't remember if it was in fifth or sixth canto, where it's Bhagavatam speaking about the different dweepas, and in each dweepa, there's a presiding form of Krishna by which the inhabitants
Okay.
worship,
Yeah.
and then the inhabitants, they speak at the prayers of each form. Is there a dweepa that's referred to of Rama and inhabitants? Is there?
I'm not so well versed in the fifth canto. I'm not aware. I don't know. Jitagirish?
You mentioned that Rama and Lakshmana, when they took rest at night, they would turn into Mahavishnu and Anantashesh.
So Sri Vaishnava say, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, just to be clear, Rama and Lakshmana, it's sort of non-different from Krishna and Balaram,
Yes.
correct? So is Krishna and Balaram also non-different from Mahavishnu and Anantashesh?
Yes.
Actually, there's a pastime, in one of the Goswamis, Gokul Chandra Prabhu, speaks about this in the Goloka chat one, where all the cowherd boys, they're all playing, with Krishna and Balaram, and then all of a sudden, just for the play, Balaram turns into Anantashesh, and Krishna turns into Mahavishnu, and he's lying down, and Rama Devi is massaging his feet. And all the cowherd boys clap and they throw
Yeah,
flowers.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
good trick! That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But it doesn't affect them. That,
No,
you
no,
know,
no. No,
But yeah,
here
they also,
Aishwarya Bhav is heavily pleasant.
yeah, there is, they do it too, but it's not like such a big deal.
They just make fun of it.
They just make fun, like, good trick, wow, that was cool, but
Good play.
yeah.
Good skit. Okay. Yeah, Isaac has been raising his hands for quite a few times.
Prabhu, could you, I don't know if there's time for you, could you tell us the part of the transcendental lila of
Huh?
Rama?
Part of the
Sorry.
transcendental Leela of Rama?
Yeah.
Which part?
The part when he went to the Danta Karanja forest and he met the rishis.
Oh, you should read the book.
How he become briefly, or
How
well,
did he become?
how he become pleased with them
Oh,
by his devotion, by them devotion.
yeah.
what
I
they
mean,
were
I,
doing.
I don't have much time for that. I'd rather take questions,
And another question is, and I think in the Vishnu Sahasranam, he said that Lord Krishna says that one name of Rama,
Shiva.
Shiva said that?
The Shiva says that. Yes.
One name of Rama is equal to 1,000 names
1,000 names of Vishnu.
of
Yes.
Vishnu. And,
Yes.
and one name of Krishna?
The 3 names of Lord Rama. Not 36 names of Vishnu.
3,000.
1,000. Yes. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. 3. Prabhupada explains that in his Bhagavatam purports.
Okay. So, Hanuman is incarnation of Lord Shiva?
This is something that I've heard. I don't have a reference to it. It's probably true because and the way I think it might be true is because Hanuman is Vayu Putra. Vayu is said to be an Amsa of Lord Shiva. Now, I don't know though if the Vaishnava Acharyas accept this. So that is something I'm not 100% sure yet. The Smartas, they believe that very strongly. And, you know, there might be validity to it. You don't know. So I haven't looked into that. I don't know, to ask someone.
The army, the monkey armies, it is right that it is the result of course of Narada Muni to Vishnu?
I don't know. Never heard of that. I never heard of that. I don't know. Maybe you're hearing from some devotee from some lecture, but I don't know about these things.
And when you know when was that? Oh,
You know, there's
because
yeah.
because the name Hari, it means it can also be understood as monkey or something like that.
I don't know. I have no idea what you're saying.
I don't know.
Where did you hear all this?
The-
No, but where did you hear this? Internet. Internet has everything, Isaac. Don't just say things from the internet. No. Don't look up things and just say things from the internet because you know, if unless it's said by some acharyas or you know it's from a bona fide source, don't even ask because it'll just be a waste of time. If you find it from some bona fide source, then you have a doubt, then it's okay. You know, but otherwise, so many people say so many things on the internet, we can't address all of that. You know, one interesting thing that Shyamasundar Prabhu mentioned was that he explained why Dvivida developed a inimical attitude towards Balaram. It said Asat Sangha, right? He committed an offense to Lakshmana when Indrajit had bound Lakshmana on the battlefield of Lanka. You know, that at that point of time, Lakshmana was bound up and was apparently like, you know, like caught like an ordinary human being. And at that point of time, Dvivida slightly suspected if this Lakshmana is he divine personality? Is he Vishnu? Is he actually like an Amsa of Vishnu, or is he just some ordinary human being? And because of that offense, you know, he had committed, he got Asat Sangha, and then because of that, he became inimical to Balarama, who's none other than Lakshmana, and then Balarama had to kill him and free him from that offense. Yeah, so offenses are great. So if that's to the Supreme Lord, you know, we should be very careful towards Vaishnavas also. Very careful. It's very easy to become, you know, contemptuous, feel, you know, become familiar with the devotees and then start to look down on them in a condescending manner and this and that. And why they also pass stool, they also laugh, they also fall sick, and they also sleep and maybe snore and whatever, you know. And so you start, you know, so you have to be careful. You have to be very careful.
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
I read this in a book of Paramadvaiti Swami.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Well, anyways, I won't fully blame you for that, but you know, he's not. There are issues with him. So, yeah. Okay, you had something.
The pastime of Lord Ram. This took place in this universe.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, did this version of this Bhagavatam existed when he was here?
Version of the Bhagavatam?
Yeah, like the Bhagavatam's been since time immemorial, so it was being spoken at that time. Like,
Was the Bhagavatam being spoken at that time? I don't know. I mean, there's no reference in this regard. One thing is, even though the Shastra and the Bhagavatams may be present, how did Brahma receive the Bhagavatam? He didn't receive 18,000 verses. Do you know that? He received 4, called the Chatushloki Bhagavatam. So the Bhagavatam has been present. In what shape, in what form, who spoke it, when they spoke it, this we don't know. It's present. But the Bhagavatam that we have now, 18,000 verses, was this exact form present when Lord Rama was there? Probably not. I don't know. Can't say for sure. Right?
just as far as like people would know his pastimes before they happened, it was like a
The
prediction or
Ramayana was
something?
composed from one verse.
Mhm.
One verse. One verse Valmiki chanted while looking on birds that were shot by a hunter. He chanted one verse. That one verse he composed. Actually, what the version of Ramayana we have isn't, it's 24,000 verses, but there's Mula Ramayana, which has 1 billion verses, which is present in the heavenly planets. So, same thing. Shastra has multiple forms in which it appears.
Mhm. I was also I was where's it said the real Sita was if the
So in Varaha Purana, so what happens is Sita Devi goes under. So Sita Devi, where does she go? Is your question?
yeah.
Where did she go?
Mhm.
Well, it's said that Agni took her. Agni took her, and then when the Sita Pariksha happened, Yajna, the Agni Pariksha, Sita Pariksha, the test for Lord Sita happened, where in the end of the battle of Lanka, Sita comes before Lord Rama, and Rama doesn't want to accept her without her proving her chastity. So she enters fire, and then that fire doesn't burn her. And at that point of time, Brahma himself comes and assures Lord Rama that I know that she is chaste. You may accept her. And remember, Brahma is the originator of the Ikshvaku line also. You know? So Rama accepts him. Rama accepts her. Okay, you say, I accept. And at that point of time, it is said that Maya Sita vanished and Agni produced the real Sita.
Last question. What does the name Kaikeya mean?
Kaikeyi,
Kaikeyi.
Kaikeyi refers to the daughter of Kaikeya, who is the ruler of the Kekaya kingdom.
And that's the one nobody will name their
Huh?
daughter. Nobody will name their daughter that just
Kaikeyi?
because of the like
Because of the
ties.
Ramayana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And that's the culture. Yeah. All right. Is that gotta give Mataji? Have anything? Okay. Anybody else? All right. We should end, Baba. You already had. What is it? Okay, go on.
He appears in the dynasty of the sun. He's descendant of
Correct.
Ishvaku. But why he's called Ramachandra, which Chandra means the moon.
Oh. I don't have an exact explanation to this. The point is he's called Ramachandra because the Supreme Lord, he's always Krishna. He's soothing like the moon. We also say Nityananda Chandra. This is actually a name. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is also said to be, he's a Gaura Chandra. So all of these, I can only quote Aitihya in the sense of tradition, that almost many incarnations of the Supreme Lord are used with this name. All the human forms especially are called with this name, Chandra, meaning they are cooling like the moon. Right? They're cooling like the moon. So Supreme Lord is cooling like the moon. Yes, Kalki Prabhu. Yeah, it's a poetic expression. He's also described as being as effulgent and dazzling as the sun. But he's also described like this. But the cooling as the moon is more soothing. It's a poetic expression. It's beautiful. Okay, all right. Hare Krishna.